Hello, and thank you for joining me today. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can also visit me at www.threadworksfactory.com. You can find me on Facebook under the same name and like my page. Let's get started today on the feather that we're going to do, where we're going to actually place an interesting corner motif. You can see we've got a corner situated right here, and that's actually the zone that we're going to start with in order to do our quilting. We're going to make a figure eight. Our figure eight is going to be centered at the spine where this diagonal line goes from corner in to corner out. And we're going to place a thin figure eight in that zone, stretching all the way to both corners. I'm not quite symmetrical, but that's okay. You really won't notice it as we get rolling. But we're going to do some interesting things here. We're going to actually put a curl in on this one. We're going to bring the curl back out. And we're going to start on our feather. So we're going to bring a feather in. I'll actually do a crescent on it. And then I will say, you know what, it's time for another curl. So I'll come in, I'll put in a curl. I'll now do another bump back. I'll put in another curl here. I'll do my last feather here as a slight bump back because I'm actually going to borrow this zone to pop one in. I'll do another bump back, and this last one is where I'll put the curl. I did it that way just so that I didn't have a curl right on top of a curl. I'd continue down that spine doing the same thing. I could actually take my thread backtrack and I could finish the rest of the outside. I'd like to do somewhat of a mirror, so I'd like to come into here and do another one so we got it somewhat of a mirror shape here, and then I'll do a bump back. I'll do another bump back, and maybe here is where I will introduce a curl. You don't have to be consistent where you equally space these things out. You can just throw them in as you see fit. It gives a nice organic look to things. I'm honoring that line that you see here with what I'm doing. I'll put in a little curl here just because kind of neat to have one up on the spine like that, a bump back. I'll even throw in a curl here since there isn't one on that other side. And I'd continue on downward in that same fashion. Now I'm going to do the inside. So I would run myself all the way back up and I would do the same thing. So in the first area here, I'm going to put in a curl. I'll come in with a bump back and I'll start that wrap. The reason why I'm wrapping it is because I'm on the inside of that curve, and it's a little tricky, and you got to give yourself some breathing room. What nice thing about giving yourself breathing room is you give this nice organic look and a great flow to things. So I'd continue on down that spine doing the same thing, but I'm now going to backtrack back up or tie off, and I'm now going to do the last one where I'm going to come in, put in a beautiful piece like this. This one's going to have to be a bit short, but that's okay because it'll allow us to do our wraps. And perhaps right here I'll put in another swirl. Nice bump back. And we would be off and motoring. Beautiful look, a nice intricate detail here at the head of it in the corner, and you can put any design you want there. And that just happens to be one of them. Like us on this page by subscribing. Like us on Facebook by, well, liking us on Facebook, and visit us at www.threadworksfactory.com. Thank you for joining us and have a fantastic day.